Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Touch Not channel. Thanks for joining us. We have two special guests here to speak with us about two of the things that immediately spring to my mind when I think of Scottish culture in New England, and that's music and dance. Joining us are Lezlie Webster, founder of the New England Scottish Arts Center, and Claire MacPherson, president of Scottish Arts, as it is commonly known. I believe we'll begin with you, Lezlie. Just when did Scottish Arts come into existence and what brought about its formation?
1984, in the Boston area when I was teaching down there, one of the parents said, we should form a nonprofit organization to host some workshops and raise some money to send the kids to compete in Scotland and, just provide some scholarships for kids that maybe couldn't afford all the things that it takes to be a piper or dancer.
Right.
So that's where we decided to form Scottish Arts to do exactly that. And it's still doing that, raising money to send kids to events and providing money for them for lessons and also providing uniforms and bagpipes and things.
Right. So many of the scenes we see at the festivals, the parades and such all around New England is due to the work of people like yourselves.
Well, we put a lot of hours into teaching. Hopefully it all sounds pretty good and looks pretty good when we get finished.
Right. So it's evolved over the years quite a bit, has it? 1984, you say? That's quite a while.
It's been so much fun watching crowds of kids going through, they climb that ladder of success, whether they're a piper or a dancer. And then you still see them as adults, still enjoying it so much, either as teaching it or still involved in a pipe band or performing still. So
Right.
it has a, long lasting,
Yeah, it must be so gratifying to see another generation come up and that kind of a thing and know that you've played a part in that. And perhaps your own children, I think, are involved in it too. And that's just how this works. It's
Isn't
called
it?
perpetuating the culture, which is what I'm here to talk about with both of you. And it's just a wonderful thing that's going on.
There's a motto of passing it on to the next generation that different organizations have used, and we should be using it as well. It really is all about that. It can't stagnate. It needs to keep moving on. And we have to keep replacing ourselves, we're all not going to be around too. So it's fun watching these young professional pipers, dancers taking over and becoming teachers and leading us as well. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So Scottish Arts itself is an entity apart from the band that you work with. And can you explain a little bit about how that works, if you could?
Well, we're a teaching organization, and that's what we do. We make sure that we keep a high standard and we teach correctly. That means that, everybody's got certifications, we take exams, we have pieces of paper that say we know what we're doing. We're judges and we're certified teachers, and we that's our main goal, is to teach the students and provide a place for them to do that. But over the years, we've also had to do events because people wouldn't run these events. So we've run, indoor competitions, and now we're involved in Queechee games. We help other games, and we do workshops, and that's again in the teaching side. But a lot of our students belong to pipe bands, and not just the New Hampshire Pipes and Drums, which is, but quite a number of them are, well, almost everyone is this piping student of mine and the drumming student of Ken's. But we also teach pipers and all sorts of other bands. So we have our thumbs in everybody's pipe band. And that's kind of fun because then we're all friends, aren't we?
Right. So you're making sure that the framework of everything is pretty much the same as it might be across the country. If somebody comes here, they're used to the kind of a judging protocol or whatever word you might use that goes on. That's the kind of thing you're ensuring that's all kind of maybe an even playing field or that kind of a thing.
We have some of the top pipers in the whole country, which is really fun then to boast about. So Claire's son, for instance, in the grade 4 junior level, so all the players from Texas all the way to Maine in 18 and under, he was the top winner in grade 4 junior. How cool is that? And second place was his friend James. So right here, the two top players in that whole category came from here. And in grade 3, in the top 20, we just dominated. We had half of the players were all our students. So that's way fun when you can see the accomplishments that are trending upwards again. In 2018, I think is the year at the Loon Mountain Games, which was, one of the big solo contests, our students won the Piper of the Day for every grade, 1, 2, 3, and 4, which was pretty exciting to see. And yeah, it pissed a few people off, but that's exactly what we were trying to do is, show that this is what we're trying to be excellent in piping and turning out some really highly competitive students. And
Sure.
so, yeah, everybody looks at the Northeast as a very strong hold for piping, especially. And we've just gone down a little bit in the dancing. We used to have some really great dancers and they would compete at national levels. But COVID just wiped us out. And that's where we're struggling right now is to build up the dance school and get people dancing again. So if anything comes of this video, that would be one of our wishes is to be able to attract some people to come and try some dancing and not try, do it.
Right. Well, that's what we're here to talk about is what you might need to go forward with and what you've done in the past. So that's fine. So we need dancing students, everyone.
That we
in New
do.
England.
My daughter did every dance exam that one could do and passed her teacher's exam along with another dance teacher, Shelley Stiles in Melrose. And so between the two of them, we're going to try and see if we can not find some dancers to enlarge both of their classes. And Shelley's daughter, Audrey, has gone to dance at the US Championships and won some amazing prizes. So it's just been so exciting to see her. She actually started at our school and Marielle was one of her first teachers. So that was pretty neat to see her excel and beyond. But yeah, we could really use some more dance students.
Yeah, a lot of gratifying victories in this I can see and a lot of memories over the years. My goodness.
Mm.
Now you're I know that dancing and piping and such and drumming, of course, and all of it, I can't help but think that this is instilling a lot of work ethic, you might say, and discipline and other type of things that just come along with it. Regardless of what it is, it gives that framework to a person as they come up through the grades of it, I suppose, does it not?
Yeah, and learning to be gracious winners and gracious losers. It's
Okay.
a really important lesson for everybody to learn that you can't always be first. And it's wonderful when you are. And the hard work that you put into it is gratifying. And when you win your trophy, finally, it's so exciting and you share it with everybody. You're not just your family, but all your friends. You make so many friends in the piping and dancing world. It's just incredible. So it's really fun is just the camaraderie that you feel as you're doing this, but learning how to congratulate each other. So if somebody beats you, it's like, well, at least you won and good for you, just be a gracious loser too. And learn to, that you can't get anywhere without a lot of work and that discipline of practicing. I don't ask anybody to practice. I think they just love it so much or they're so competitive with each. I don't know what it is, but they just do it. I'm so proud of all of them. It's very fun. I had the music director at Exeter where I teach said, your kids are always in here practicing. What do you do? What do you say to them to get them in here practicing? I said, I don't know. I don't say anything. But they've got great music and great tunes that they all want to play. And they can't wait to be a pipe band. And they've got all these, events coming up. So I guess they just like it that much. But I think that's what's fun about this instrument. It's not different, and you got to put a lot of time in. Otherwise you sound really bad.
Right.
You got to practice and you got to keep practicing because you just get to understand, oh my God, I've only got this far. I've got all this to go.
So what kind of ages do the dancers start at or how does it all work? If someone just saw this and said, yes, I'd like to, is there a time of year they need to start? Anything like that?
Anytime, but 4 is the youngest, really. That's when they've got that side to side ability to understand what you do with one side, you do to the other. And before that, that coordination isn't as well developed. And right through teenage years, we have an adult class. We have had an adult class. We don't have one right now, but we do have adults that dance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. I guess I'm not thinking that exactly, but there's adults involved as well.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yep, Marielle dances still, and she has a friend that they've done some choreography work, and hoping I can talk them into doing something nice for a Burns night maybe next year. It's fun to see adult polished dancers that just, emanate just such grace and control that, little kids maybe sometimes don't.
Be nice to
Right,
see some more. It would be nice to see. Oh, I was just going to say it would be nice to see some more male dancers in there too, right? Because it used to just only be men.
A good point.
Yeah. We used to have some male dancers. Oh gosh, we had like 5 boys all in the homeschooling groups. And oh God, they were fun to have to teach. Oh, such strength. Even Cam, my son, was a Highland dancer when he was younger.
Yeah, I think it'd be amazing to see the contrast, because men, I guess, with their body shapes and everything, it's so different. But yeah,
Right. Yeah, I very much enjoyed the sword dance and the other dances at the Burns night. That was just transfixing, really was. Everyone in the audience just stop and watch, Oh my gosh.
Lots of intricate footwork.
The concentration it must take, and oh my goodness.
And the thing is, it's all pre-choreographed. So once you know the sword dance or the fling, you can dance that anywhere. It's not like ballet where you learn a new routine and, it's over after the concert. And this lasts a whole lifetime. So, you'll get up at a party and Cam, I saw him on a video the other day, went just jumping up and dancing the Highland fling. Somebody played it for him, and they were at a Keeley somewhere. So,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they get bothered quite a bit. Can you get up and do this? Get up and play, and the musicians as well.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's hopefully something they've learned to deal with and take it as a compliment.
Now we also teach fiddle, so it's not just pipes and drums either. Barbara McGowan started the fiddle classes at Scottish Arts when we were in Manchester.
Yes.
And so she taught my 2. Marielle's taken over teaching fiddle, and she teaches one of Claire's sons. And we've been involved in a lot of the Boston area stuff, Canadian American Club, and we've been to Boston Harbor schools and things like that as different things. I've taught pipes. Marielle's been an assistant teaching fiddle, and they've gone to the classes. Claire's son's gone to some fiddle workshops in the area. So it's growing again, which is quite fun. It sort of went down a little bit, not a lot of kids, and now it's building back up again.
Right.
Boston's got a tremendous group of fiddlers, and they always have. It's an incredible, amazing group.
So Claire MacPherson, you've been elected the president of Scottish Arts. Now, you're running some events this year, I've heard, is what large. You're very, very involved in like 3 different events during the year. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. So the first one we've got coming up is we're helping Scots Charitable with the Tartan Ball, which is happening on the 6th of April in Andover, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And then our own indoor Scottish Festival, and that's coming up as a Saturday, April the 20th. So that's free admission, and we've got the whole thing going on there. So it's a complete submersion in Scottish culture. We've got pipe bands, solo piping, dancing, drumming, and vendors, and also the clans are going to be there. You're going to be there, Ray. So
yes,
yeah, have a workshop on Scottish prisoners of war. So that's going to be fascinating. Who came over to Massachusetts in the 1600s. So, and then our next event, we've obviously got Queechee Games. So I've got my shirt on, happening again. And that's August 24th. And that's in Queechee, Vermont, at the polo field there, which looks awfully similar to the Highlands, I have to say. So it's lovely. It's a really wonderful event that we all love dearly. So, yep. And then I think I'm not sure what else we have planned for the remainder of the year, but we'll keep in touch and let you know.
Sure. Well, I was counting Robert Burns at the beginning of the year when I said 3, but right.
Yeah, that's right.
So in January there's a Burns night as well, right?
Yeah. We'll have our Robert Burns next January. That's right. Mark the diaries for that one.
Right.
It's very. Yeah.
So perhaps the 20th of April at Salem High School would be a good place to come and take a look if you're thinking about dancing or any of this. Come
Absolutely.
and have a look. Be a great time to see it. Well, indoor, a little more concentrated view of everything. And if thinking of enjoying everything, I think it would be a little easier than trying to find everything at once on a big field. It'd be nice, a nice little ecosystem of what you're doing in a building. This is actually a good opportunity for someone new, I think.
Yeah, that's
Great
right.
parking, and it's free admissions, so easy day to bring your whole family out and walk around. You can just come for a little short time or all day. We can keep you busy all day, and there's even going to be dancing, right, Claire, on the stage. One of the dancing judge is going to teach the audience some of the fling and bring them all up on the stage and give them a tryout on what it takes to be a Highland dancer. And she's from Montreal. What a character. And some of our piping judges are going to put on a little performance at the end of the day as well. So you'll hear world-class pipers right there, just sitting in those nice, comfortable chairs and in the Seifert Performing Arts Center. And we've got food trucks, so you can come and have a coffee or whatever. And really nice day.
So you've got the school auditorium to use. That must be excellent. Gymnasium, perhaps, right? All this.
Not the gymnasium, the big Performing Arts Center with the stage and all the curtains, and it mutes down the pipe bands. It's the only place we've found in the whole of state that will handle a whole full big pipe band and not knock your ears out. So it's a deep, deep stage, and it handles the drums, everything. Then we put them at the back, and the pipes just in a semicircle and facing the audience, and it seems to work.
Nice. And the largest event of its kind in the country, I'm told. Is that right?
Yes.
Largest indoor event, everybody, is what I meant by that. Largest indoor Scottish festival is April 20th, Salem High School, Salem, New Hampshire, a free event. I hope everyone joins us all there. So how are the plans going for this event, Claire?
Very well. We're actually meeting tonight again just to finalize some things. So, yep, it's all going really. We've got a fabulous team at Scottish Arts. I mean, they're just absolutely wonderful. So we, yeah.
Good. I've heard good things.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to make it last year, but I will this year. And everyone who did told me. I'm sorry I missed it. Put it that way. So, I'll be there with the clan tents and such. There's some vendors outside and inside, I think she said, in several clans. The Scottish POW program workshop is going on. That's with John Demos of the South Berwick, Maine Historical Society. I had him on here, in fact, talking to us on the TouchNot channel. So if anyone wants to see a little bit of background about what's going to be at Scottish Arts Festival on April 20th at Salem High School, take a look at that Scots Scots POW video on the TouchNot.
Yeah, Scots Charitable will be there as well, Ray, which is a nice tie-in. And also we have a couple of St Andrews societies joining us too, from Rhode Island and Maine. So that will be wonderful.
Okay, and a kilt or tartan workshop of some kind, no?
We were doing our kilt making workshop. We just ran that, didn't we, Lezlie? And then we're having another.
Okay.
We're going to recognize the kilt makers at the end of the day, and they're getting certificates. So the class was 5 people, 4 ladies and 1 gentleman.
Yep.
Made kilts, and they get to parade them and show everybody how they accomplished it. It took they started January 6th was their first meeting, and their last one hasn't happened yet. I think March 30th or something like that. And then they'll have all finished their kilts, all made by themselves. And Mary Tierney was the kilt making instructor, and we'll offer it again. And it was we kept it down low cost, and it worked great. Everybody loved it.
Wow, how many places can you do this? My goodness.
I know. I thought that was pretty fun to offer that. We've done it about 2 or 3 times over the years, but we haven't had one for quite a while. And we had a workshop, to learn how to make all the dance outfits as well, the upper stuff like the vests and the blouses and things. So this has just been wonderful. It's a dying art. there's fewer and fewer kilt makers training right now. And so in Scotland, it's hard to, they're behind in getting kilts done. And here we're losing kilt makers. We lost Anne Stewart, and we lost another lady. So, these people, they're all not getting any younger. I'm glad that they're training. The girls that took the course are in their 20s, 3 of them. So I think that's exciting that people, young people want to learn this trade, because it's a lot of work.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No kidding.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, it's interesting because I was just reading the other day about the Atholl Gathering and the beginning of the Atholl Gathering, which was it is actually 200 years ago. And it was the Stuarts and the Robertsons who got together and decided they would meet annually to do a gathering and to promote their, the spirit of friendship in the Highland culture, and also to, support the national music and their athletics and so on. But they also said in their agreement that they would support the manufacture of that dress peculiar to the Highlands, meaning the kilts. And I thought, wow, that's really interesting. Like, they took the whole thing with them. Our ancestors, they just had the whole of the culture in mind. I mean, bearing in mind the kilt had been banned after Culloden. So I think that was really fascinating that the kilt making appeared there, this gathering. I mean, as in they were supporting the manufacture of it to wear it at the gathering, so it would be expected they would turn up in their kilts. So, which we all see today. So I think it's wonderful that we keep on with these traditions and keep it traditional, which is what we're all about. So,
yes, absolutely. I saw a video about walking the wool and such, and there's a lot of things that people have gone by the wayside that are such gems that would need to be preserved.
That's right. There's some beautiful Gaelic songs, in with the beat of that, of what they're doing with their work. So a lot of music come from that. So,
right, it's a social thing to it. Is it what it was?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Community effort, and that's gone from our world. Unfortunately, we need to preserve that, and that's what you two ladies are doing in New England. Really, is fighting the tide, and you're doing a very good job at it. Thank you very much for what you do.
Thank you, Ray. That's very kind of you. I was just thinking, I said this to somebody the other day. I feel like it's a bit like a Highland charge. Like you all go forward together. So you look down this flank and you've got everybody coming with you. Look down here, you've got everybody coming. And we're just trying to take everybody with us, work together with everybody that, wants to work with us and help everybody along the way. And that's the way we'll grow stronger, all together.
Absolutely. One for all and all for one. No more of this clan squabbling and squibbling business. We're all together now. Whoever tartan is tartan today. That's so right. This is what we're about.
I think
if we don't help each other preserve it, it won't be.
Yeah. Part of what makes us maybe a little different is as the seriousness that we treat it all. Claire, especially, extremely serious. But we don't deviate. You don't see us wearing mini kilts. You don't see us painting our faces all funny colors. We don't play Star Wars and run up and down the streets. And we don't dance in weird costuming and so on. We keep it so traditional. We value the art form, that if we start deviating and making it something that it isn't, or just dabble it in it, or just treat it so superficially, it will disappear. And so the kids that put in all these hours and hours and hours memorizing classic tunes from the 15 and 1600s, like the Battle of the Pass of Crieff that your son's working on with 12 variations. My goodness, that's a lot of work that kid's putting in. The kids memorizing all these traditional dance steps to the T, because you can't make errors or you don't win prizes in the competitions, and they're challenging themselves to be very serious artists, whether they're dancing or piping or fiddling or playing in a pipe band. I think that's what makes us a little different. We don't want just to come in and try it. We'll do a little bit of that on April 20th so we can show them what it's all about. But that's not what we're going to do any other time of the year. You're not going to come in and just try it out. You're going to come and be a dancer, or you're going to come and be a piper, and we're going to show you how to do it the right way. And you're going to be well taught, so that, because all of our training has gone into that, and we're going to keep it traditional and very real. And that's what Claire says all the time. We just got to be really stick to our guns about being really traditional and not do something silly and make fun of it all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And just, I know you've been doing your Gaelic words, Ray. I've been following along with that. That's fabulous. And we were talking about duchus, which I probably said wrong, but just that feeling, that Gaelic word, I think that you can't find anything like it in English, which is to do with belonging and how everything's connected, how the clans are connected to our music and our dance. In fact, the clans are underpinning it all, really, but how everything in our culture is interconnected. And also, it also means, the responsibility that we have, and Lezlie and I and everybody involved, we take it so seriously, that we know that people coming in for the first time, it's their birthright to get, and it's our responsibility to give them the real thing. So, duchus, it's what it's all about.
Oh, so well said. So well said. I know you sent me a packet of information and I read it all over and this and that, but having you on is so much better because I could never have encapsulated it like you both have today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on here. Is there anything else we'd like to cover, do you think? Or I know so we're mentioning April 20th, right? Salem High School, Salem, New Hampshire, the free event, indoor event, piping, drumming, dancing competitions, free Highland fling lessons, food trucks, clans, Scottish POW workshop, and the culmination of a kilt making workshop, I think. And then in Queechee, Vermont, correct? August the 24th is your other event.
We're also involved with Old Orchard Beach on June 1st up in Maine in Old Orchard Beach.
Yes.
And we put on the piping and the drumming and the pipe band events up there and help them out to create the other whole side of their festival. So that's really fun and exciting to do. And we'll also be at many games. There's several in June and July at various places. I think you're going to be at Glasgow Lands, aren't you, Ray?
Yes, I'll be at Old Orchard as well.
Oh, good. See, so we're going to just see each other all summer long at all these games. And the kids, all of the competitors and so on will all be at all of these games. And so, yeah, we even, we travel around New York, around games here, but we also go over into New York and Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Okay.
And some of our competitors for our indoor games are traveling from New York, New Jersey, to come up to compete against our students.
Oh,
so,
good.
Yeah, so it's it's a little bit more far reaching than one would guess for a little indoor games. So we'll all be around at all the games, and if anybody wants to know, go on our website, scottisharts.org, and we have a little events calendar, and you can just see where all the games are that are around this area. So
okay, yeah. Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you both for coming on. I think we're just about out of time.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Lezlie Webster and Claire MacPherson from the Scottish Arts Center of New England, known as Scottish Arts. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being on Touch Not. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.